Okay, here's some more something else I forgot about doing the oil change. So you're putting everything back. It doesn't matter. It matters even less what you do first. Put your filter on, which has the oiled ring like I showed you, or put the plug back in. Me, I usually put the filter back first because you saw it's already. Even if you do it the other way around, do the first two steps the other way around, the oil filter area is going to be done dripping before your plug if you wait a long time, right? So why not put my oil filter in? If you're a mechanic or whatever, if you have a torque wrench, or if you know about torque, I don't know. I think I torque my filter around 15 pounds or so. It doesn't need a lot. It doesn't need a lot. It needs that gasket to meet, and it needs to be solid. That's it. People that like really twist their oil filters, they're just making problems for themselves or the next person or whatever, in my opinion. Uh, in my experience too. I have been a certified mechanic. Um, not just certified as a mechanic, I guess to say. You know, what I'm certified in. I could be certified. I'm certified in a lot of ways. But anyways, in some ways it's funny, in some ways it's not. Um, and then putting the oil plug back in. If you have a torque wrench, I think about 30 pounds, so about twice the force of your oil filter. You can look up specs or whatever in your vehicle or whatever, and they might say different and all that. I bet you money most of them will, but most filters that are like this type, you know, screw on like this and everything, it's the same, really. I think 15 pounds, just just okay. Picture you on a tighten like a spaghetti jar that's a glass spaghetti jar. Do you want to, or water, even a water container that goes upside down, and so you flip what like this, like that Reliant. So you want to turn that upside down, and you figure, well, you need it really snug, right? How snug do you need it? You just need it snug enough to where it meets together and it doesn't leak, right? That's basically all you need for your plug and your filter. People do the plug more, I think, because it's metal, and they're both metal, but I mean it's metal on metal, and it's solider, right? And really, I think the seat of the plug is metal to metal usually, so it matches metal to metal, so it needs a tighter torque, right? It needs to be tightened tighter. That's what torque is, tightened tighter. And then the filter, if you do it too much, if you really, 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 really torque it too much, you could just strip the whole thing. You could really damage your threads. I don't remember if I've ever seen that done, but one other thing, whenever you're doing your filter, it's kind of like, whenever you're screwing something or starting something that's threaded like a bolt or a jar or whatever, and it's really finicky with your oil filter, you want to make sure, kind of like the drain plug, you want to imagine you're the threads. You want to really feel it when it clicks. Whenever it's you might even turn it backwards, both of them, the drain plug and the filter. You might turn it backwards to where it clicks, so the threads are perfectly aligned, and you slowly and carefully, not with your wrench, both of these, don't start it with your wrench. I advise anybody, even a pro, even the best pros, I just think would be smart and practice. Most pros would practice starting it by hand, and usually even finishing it by hand. So you feel it click, and then thread it, and then make sure if it's immediate. Like, remember whenever you take it off, was it like smooth taking it off, both of those? If it was, then when you're putting it on, it should be smooth going the whole way. If it's not smooth, take it off, start it again until you feel the same type of thread tightness. If it never does that, you might want to look at your threads and make sure that the threads go in line, right? You saw on the bolt, right here, you see there's lines, right? If they're like, if you see fresh metal, different colors here, you see kind of black and then silver and then black and then silver, right? If you see the pattern change, you should change your plug, right? You see the same thing on your oil filter. You got a problem with your connection of your housing for your oil filter. Those are two bad things, really, really bad. Of course, you could have a problem in your pan. It may be bad enough, so bad that you need to replace your pan and your bolt. But if it's the filter that's cross-threaded, that's what it's called, cross-threaded, if you don't thread it well. So you just smooth. It needs to be smooth. And then at the end, of course, use your wrench to tighten the drain plug. Whether it's the ratchet or a regular box end wrench or open end wrench, I don't recommend using any channel locks or vice grips unless you have to. You really, really have to. It's not a good idea. Sometimes it's required because it's just maybe the bolt over here will be all smashed up and who knows, and you can't even get a wrench on there. You need vice grips, right? But putting your filter on, hand tighten with your fingers, no tool. Do not use your tool for anything except removing the oil filter or something else totally different. If you find some use for it on your farm or your house or whatever, but it doesn't really work going backwards. If you're trying to tighten, it just doesn't work the same. It works to loosen. That's what that's for. Anyways, so in here we got a little bonus feature because I got dirty hands and it's can't see the frost anymore. Oh, here. Well, no, there's no frost here. Well, no, the frost is going away. See droplets. There was frost there about half an hour ago. So this is my solar cooker / multi-purpose tool. This is an Amazon thing. This is, I forget, $200-$300, maybe $150. I love it. I really enjoy it. It is warming up my water so I can wash my hands. I should have that prepared in the first place because I don't have a water heater yet. But anyways, yeah, here's Trailing Venus. I have some aerial footage, and more complete walk around with Venus. That's the solar panels that were in the box. There's another box. It's because I got 4 solar panels. There's Venus. Yeah, she's all dirty. She's a little scratched up too. Partly my fault. That one's my fault. That's a little my fault too. I'm learning where she is, I whenever I'm driving, I avoid potholes. And to do that, like, I run over road markers on purpose. So I learn where the boundaries are of my vehicle. Whether it's a big vehicle, small vehicle, or whatever. Especially a larger one like this. That's what I do. I run over the road markers so I know where it is. So then I'm less likely to do something like smash the side of my... or crunch it a little bit anyways. Yeah, it sounded a lot worse when that happened. It looks not so bad. The fender well right there is more damaged than the part with the paint, where you can totally see it had connected. I think something happened here too. That's okay. Should be okay. I didn't do those intentionally, of course, but you know, it's just learning. The more I know exactly where my vehicle is, like avoiding potholes is not only good for my suspension in my vehicle and my ride, and I enjoy a ride that's smooth. It also helps me whenever it's a evasive sort of situation where I'm not only avoiding a pothole, I'm avoiding a person, animal, object, whatever. So that's my style of driving. Here's Trailing Venus. Yeah, it's cluttered. We're preparing for the cats, and also this is common RV practice. I wondered why. It's to keep your RV from the wind from going underneath there. But it's also going to be where my cats live. Getting the cats today. Bird feeder. Delta Max is under that box. Other Max is inside. It's going to come out pretty soon because it is definitely sunny today. Yep, this is Trailing Venus. There's the EcoFlow 400. And so, yeah, this is Trailing Venus and Venus with the oil change, solar cooker. That solar cooker is really awesome. Hopefully I'll get to where I can make bread on it. I'm going to try someday. But that's more toying around. It's more for, right now, it's more for necessities. Heating water. It does a great job of doing my Pop-Tarts. Arizona, I've been to the farm before, and in the summertime, even in the winter, whenever it's like 50 degrees, I bet. Well, I haven't been here in the winters, but in the summertime, just putting out a Pop-Tart out on the windshield of my vehicle, perfect Pop-Tart. I mean, dang close to perfect. It's not a little browned or anything, but it's perfect. I like it like chewy, but browned a little bit if possible. And with the windshield toasting of a Pop-Tart, it's mostly like just a little brown, not much, but perfectly crunchy. And I love the crunchy. It's an undone Pop-Tart. The flavor is like totally different. Like, you have a steak, you're gonna eat the steak raw or you're gonna eat it cooked. It's that much of a difference to me. And so, yeah, but this makes a excellent I'm learning. It's this gets really pretty dang hot. It could start a fire. I could have burned my Pop-Tart yesterday. But I have experience with this solar cooker. I will say something about what brand it is in the description below. But yeah, oil change is almost finished. I'm just letting it drip, but mostly I stopped because you see I got some frost that's melting, or snow that was, or both, whatever. It was very light snow, if it was any snow at all. Anyways, Trailing Venus, Venus oil change, and the cooker. Pretty fun. A little disappointing I dumped oil, man. Every little bit of oil. To me, it's like, man, that oil is going to be useful for there's lots of things I'll be able to use that oil for. and it's gone. I mean, it's just money, and it's what it is, right? It's available, but anyways. So R V and trailing. It's there. It's there somewhere. Dang, oily hands. Here we go. Here we go. Can't get it right. Can't do it wrong. It's just not right. It's sideways, but hey, it's better than nothing. Trailing Venus. Out.